just a little one, but the first domino has finally fallen for the Blue Jackets as we get into this lead up to the draft and free agency. Daniil Tarasov is a Florida Panther. Is the goalie situation getting clearer? Let's talk about that on this bonus Locked on Blue Jackets.
You're Locked on Blue Jackets, your daily podcast on the Columbus Blue Jackets, part of the Locked on Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to Locked on Blue Jackets, part of the Locked on Podcast Network, your team every day. I am, as always, your host, Jay Foster, here to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly about your favorite team and mine, the Columbus Blue Jackets, or past Blue Jackets, as it were. Just a quick one, a quick little bonus hit. Recording this about 20 minutes after I recorded today's episode. The Blue Jackets have traded Daniil Tarasov to the Florida Panthers. It sounds like they're getting a late pick back. I would imagine 6th at the earliest round pick. I fully assumed that it was going to be future consideration, so getting a pick at all is kind of a win. Sucks that this is how it ends. I was a big Tarasov fan at the beginning. I thought he had all the potential in the world. Really started to put it together, got hurt, never really found his feet, and the organization didn't do the best by him either. If you ask me, like, it feels a lot like the organization didn't really give him a chance to show them what he's worth, so he's going somewhere else. It's funny, I never considered him as a trade option. I was surprised when they had a list of players earlier this week that was like, these are the players that we expect to not get qualifying offers from their team. So if an RFA, which Daniil Tarasov is, does not get a qualifying offer from his team, he immediately becomes a UFA and can sign anywhere. I thought that might be what they do, is that they just don't qualify him and he can go wherever. Waddell has managed to get at least a little bit of value for Tarasov, which is great news. For a couple of reasons. One, getting anything for a guy that I assumed that they were just going to lose for free is good. Second, it has cleared up the goalie situation in Columbus quite a bit. Now, I know a lot of people, this is not the goalie trade that they were wanting or hoping for. I think a lot of people are waiting for them to try and trade Elvis. I don't think that's going to happen. If it does, great. If it doesn't, I won't be surprised. But this does seem like they know what they're going into the season with, right? Is that it's going to be Jet and it's going to be Elvis. Whether that's the case in November, December, etc., we'll find out. And there's nothing stopping them from picking up another goalie in free agency, right? Or a trade. It sounds like Thatcher is out, but that also sounds like Artur Shilovs is who just won the Calder Cup. Just won the Calder Cup MVP for the Abbotsford Canucks, might be on the board instead of Demko, which is a really intriguing option. I like Shilovs a lot, but we're not talking about Shilovs right now. This has cleared path for Jet to be in the NHL, right? I know that there was some talk about that I didn't really believe, but there was a lot of talk about we'll see what the goalie situation looks like, and if it turns out that the best goalie situation is to roll back what we did last year, we'll do that. I didn't buy that. Some Blue Jackets reporters made some comments about how they might be thinking about running Elvis and Tarasov back next season. I didn't really buy it. And now it looks like the Blue Jackets have made their decision. They're not going to keep Tarasov. I wondered if they might try to do what I assume Florida will do, which is sign him to a cheap deal, try and sneak him through waivers, and use him in the AHL. Because if they can get him to refine his game, he's still pretty young, there might be something there. We've seen goalies go to Florida and thrive before. Now, I'm not saying that Tarasov is the same as Sergei Bobrovsky, but Florida has had success taking old goalies from Columbus before. Mostly, I'm interested in what this means for the Blue Jackets, obviously. That pick is kind of, you just throw a dart at the wall, right? I don't think a 6th-round pick is going to move the needle much. But it's a little bit more draft capital, which is not the worst thing in the world. And again, now it looks more and more as time goes on that it's going to be Jets' net to lose, right? Whether that's with Elvis, whether that's with someone else, but the Blue Jackets have made their choice. They had 3 goalies, and now they've got 2 goalies. So, for better or worse, Tarasov is out. someone else might be in, but right now, Jet Greaves is not going to be going back to Cleveland, knock on wood, unless the Blue Jackets do something insane. This is the path for Jet to be in the NHL this season, which I think is thoroughly deserved. I think he's ready, and I think the team owes it to him to see if he can do what he did last season in longer stretches, right? And they weren't going to be able to do that necessarily with Tarasov still here. They talked a lot about, well, hoping he can find consistency, hoping he can find his game again. Again, I didn't super buy that, but maybe, again, with a different team, he'll figure it out. But all this means for the Blue Jackets is that they've got a little bit more draft capital, and dominoes have started to fall, which is great. And this is the route that Jet needed to sneak his way into, he probably already was one of the top 2 goalies in the organization, but now he just fully, he might be the best goalie in the organization. Small sample size, but promising early returns, right? I'm not going to go into too much detail about this. I'm sure more moves will happen. Just a quick update on Tarasov and what this means for the team going forward. Later on tonight, I have got another bonus draft episode, which I actually, again, literally finished recording about 20 minutes before this news dropped. So that's coming up tonight. And then tomorrow I've got another draft episode. So make sure you check those out. I've been Jay Foster. You can find me on Blue Sky at JAKOBFORSTEI. You can find the show at LO-Blue Jackets on Blue Sky and LO_Blue Jackets on Twitter. Thank you for listening. And until later tonight, make sure you stay locked on.